Hello students, in this video we are going to learn Chapter 4 A Truly Beautiful Mind from Beehive textbook in English for class 9. This chapter, A Truly Beautiful Mind, it is a short biography about Albert Einstein. I hope everyone knows who this Albert Einstein is. He was a great scientist, right? So apart from that, Albert Einstein was a person who has a truly beautiful mind. So most of you might be wondering, how can a scientist be having a truly beautiful mind? So we will get to know about this from this very lesson. So I'll read out the text and also I'll do the explanation. So this Albert Einstein, he loves mathematics and physics very much. And apart from that, not only he was a scientist, but he also had a humanistic attributes towards world peace and non-violence. Okay, in short. So this is a very short biography about Albert Einstein. So let us see. Albert Einstein was born on 14 March 1879 in a German city of Ulm, without any indication that he was destined for greatness. On the contrary, his mother thought Albert was a freak. To her, his head seemed much too large. So Albert Einstein was born on 14 March 1879 in the German city called Ulm. And no one thought or no one predicted that this very boy will become a great scientist in the near future, because his mother thought that Albert was a freak. Freak means a word used disapprovingly to talk about a person who is unusual and doesn't behave, look, or think like others. So according to Albert Einstein's mother, that is Albert Einstein, he was quite different. He was unusual. He didn't behave like any other children, or he looked so different and he think so differently, and his head seemed much too large. So this is what the mother said about Albert Einstein. At the age of 2.5, Einstein still wasn't talking. When he finally did learn to speak, he uttered everything twice. So at the age of 2.5, he had reached 2.5 years, but Einstein still wasn't talking. He had a problem, okay? So when he finally learned how to speak, he uttered the word twice. Every word he repeated twice. He started to speak very lately, that is, even at the age of 2.5, okay? He could not speak. Only after that he could speak, but he uttered or he spoke the word twice. Einstein did not know what to do with other children, and his playmates called him brother boring. Okay, since you all have the textbook, I won't be reading out the text. I will directly explain, okay? So you please look at your textbook. So Einstein did not know what to do with the other children, even his playmates, okay? The playmates called him brother boring. Why? Because he used to repeat the words, and he was not like any other children. So his playmates, they used to call him by the name brother boring. So the youngster, that is Albert Einstein, he played by himself and he spent the time all alone. Now this Albert Einstein, he especially loved to play with mechanical toys. Mechanical toys. Here we can understand that this Albert Einstein at a very young age, he loves physics. This is the reason why Albert Einstein loved to play mechanical toys. Looking now, his sister, okay, Maja, was born, and when she was born, Albert Einstein asked his parents where were her wheels, because the toys, okay, which he played, okay, with are all mechanical toys. So when he saw a small baby girl, okay, he also took that girl as a toy, okay, a mechanical toy, and so he asked where were her wheels. You know what is wheels, right? Wheels means here it talks about the feet. Okay, so from here we can understand that though Albert Einstein was very young, he had a very analytical mind. He was very intelligent. A headmaster once told his father that what Einstein chose as a profession would not matter because he will never make a success at anything. Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6 because his mother wanted him to. He later became a gifted amateur violinist, maintaining this skill throughout his life. So the headmaster once told Albert Einstein's father that whatever Albert Einstein chooses to do it, he will not succeed. Whatever it may be, he will never ever achieve, or he will never ever be successful at anything. So this is what the headmaster told to his father. A very negative statement was given by the headmaster to Albert Einstein's father. He began to learn violin at the age of 6 because his mother wanted him to become a great musician, a violinist. And so he started learning that violin at the age of playing the violin at the age of 6. And then this Einstein, he became a gifted amateur. Amateur means doing something for personal enjoyment rather than as a profession. So playing a violin became his hobby. Okay, not a profession but hobby. And he maintained the skill of playing the violin throughout his life. But Albert Einstein was not a bad student. Pupil means a student. He was very good in that violin, okay, in playing that violin, but he was also good in his studies. He went to high school in Munich, where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old and scored good marks in almost every subject. So he went to high school in Munich. That is the name of the place in Germany, okay, where Einstein's family had moved when he was 15 months old in that place, and he scored good marks in almost every subject. Einstein, he headed the school regimentation. Regimentation means order or discipline taken to an extreme. So the school where he had studied, the school had a very strict rules and regulation. So Einstein, he hated the school very much. He didn't want to study from there, and very often he had a clash with his teachers. So at the age of 15, this Einstein felt so stifled. Stifled means unable to breathe or suffocated. He really didn't want to study in that very school, and at last he left the school for good. For good means for forever. Okay, so he left the school for forever. So before he left the school, 1 year ahead, okay, previous year, his parents, they had moved to Milan. They have to move to Milan. Milan is the name of a city in Italy, okay, Italy. So they have moved to Milan the previous year, and they left their son, that is Albert Einstein, with relatives. So after a long discussion, this Einstein, he got his wish to continue his education in German-speaking Switzerland. So he left that very school in Munich because the school was too strict and he could not follow the rules and regulation. Okay, he was tired of being there in that school, and he left that school in Munich for forever. And at last, after a long discussion with his parents, okay, with Albert Einstein, he was allowed to continue his education in German speaking in Switzerland, okay, in a city which was more liberal than Munich. Liberal means willing to understand and respect others' opinions. So comparing to his earlier school, it was very liberal. It was not that as strict as the school in Munich. So Einstein studied there in Switzerland. Einstein was highly gifted in mathematics. He was very good in mathematics, and he was very much interested in physics. So after finishing his school, he decided to study at the university in Zurich. Okay, it is a city in Switzerland. Okay, so he decided to study at the university in Zurich. So when he was studying there, here it says that the narrator says that this Albert Einstein was not only interested in science, Okay, it is not that he was interested only in science, but this dashing young man, dashing means a very handsome. Okay, he was, you can see the picture there. Okay, Einstein in 1900 at the age of 21, and later you will see another, okay, an old man, Einstein in 1955 as we remember him now. So earlier, okay, he was a very handsome young man with a walrus mustache. Walrus means it is a shape of the mustache. You can see the picture. This is walrus mustache. Okay, so he was a very handsome man with a walrus mustache. So he was very good in mathematics, and he was interested in physics. And it's not that he was interested only in science, but as a handsome man, okay, he was also interested in other things. Now we will get to know that. He also felt a special interest in a fellow student, which means he had an attraction, or he liked his fellow student, interest in a fellow student, one of his classmate, okay, fellow student. That is Mila Merrick, a lady, okay. So he found that, okay, Mila Merrick, and he found her to be a very clever creature. Clever creature means a very intelligent lady, okay, a very intelligent lady. So this Mila Merrick, she was a young Serb. Serb means Siberia, okay? She was from Siberia, and she had come to Switzerland because that university in Zurich, okay, where this Einstein and this Einstein studied, okay, that very university was one of the few universities in Europe, okay, where women could get degrees. And this is the reason why Mila Merrick came there in Switzerland from Siberia, okay, to study. So Einstein saw in her, okay, Einstein saw her, and he liked her, okay, that is Mila Merrick. And he also saw in this Mila Merrick an ally. An ally means a friend, okay, against the Philistines, against the Philistines. Now, Philistines means a word used disapprovingly to talk about people who don't like art, literature, or music. People, those who don't like art, literature, or music, they are called as Philistines. Okay, but this Albert Einstein and Mila Merrick, both of them, they liked very much, okay, this subject, that is art, literature, and music. Okay, so the family, okay, the people in his family, and even at the university, there were many people who were Philistines. Philistines means who doesn't like, or who didn't like art, literature, or music. During the times, okay, during Albert Einstein time, the people, those who are interested with art, literature, or music, they are not known, okay, they are like the people, okay, many people, they are not interested with this art, literature, or music. So this Mila Merrick and Albert Einstein, they like art, literature, and music. So what he found was that he found some similarity, okay, with him. So he liked that Mila Merrick. So afterwards, the couple, okay, both of them, they fell in love, and they started writing letters expressing their feelings. They put their affection into words, with mixing signs with tenderness. So with they express their feelings through the letters, okay, mixing with signs and the feelings. So this is an example, okay, this is the letter, what the one of his letters he had written. Einstein had wrote, "How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought out our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion." So this is one of the examples of his letter to Mila Merrick. So this is how he used to express his feelings, mixing signs, okay, mixing signs, and he's putting his affection into words and mixing signs. So relativity, this is the project, okay, that she was going through, and this Mila Merrick was also helping him. So he wrote in his letter that he shall be very happy, okay, when both of them, they have brought out the work on relativity to a victorious conclusion. So in 1900, at the age of 21, Albert Einstein, he graduated Okay, he was a university graduate, but he was unemployed. So he worked as a teaching assistant and he gave private lessons. And finally, he got a job in 1902 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. Okay, so Bern is a city. Okay, is the name of a city in Germany. So he got a job as a technical expert in the patent office. Patent means a document which gives the rights of an invention to an inventor. So whoever a person who invents new thing, they will bring there, okay, in that office, and they will be checked, okay, and later on when they are approved, then they will be given a patent. That means a document, okay, giving the right of an invention, okay, rights of an invention to an inventor. So they are the inventor. So whenever a person invents something, they will come to that office and they will show their invention. And once it is thoroughly examined, then once they are approved, they will be given a document, okay, that is like a document of giving rights to the inventor, okay, for an invention. So he worked as a technical expert in that patent office in Bern. So while he was working in that office, he was supposed to be assessing the other people's invention, but on the other hand, this Einstein was also actually developing his own ideas in secret. Very secretly, he was also trying to develop his own ideas. And jokingly, okay, he called this desk drawer as Bureau of Theoretical Physics. Bureau means office, okay, office of theoretical physics. Why he said so? Why he named the desk drawer, okay, drawer as office of theoretical physics? Because that desk, okay, that desk was used, okay, by him to work, okay, to work on the relativity, or to work on certain things, okay, to work on his inventions. So this is the reason why he gave the name, okay. Jokingly, he called his desk drawer at work the Bureau of Theoretical Physics, because he sits there, okay, and he does the work on that desk only, okay, and he did it secretly. So he called the desk drawer as Bureau of Theoretical Physics. Now next, one of the famous papers of 1905 was Einstein's special theory of relativity. So at last, okay, he could find out, okay, that theory of relativity, and according to that relativity, okay, time and distance, they are not absolute. Absolute means they are not measured in itself, not in relation to anything else. So this, like, indeed two perfectly, okay, two perfectly, that means exact, okay. Here the paragraph is related to a science, okay, science and physics. So two exact clocks, he says that two exact clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again after a journey, if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. So he means to say that, okay, according to the theory of relativity, time and distance are not measured in itself, not in relation to anything else. Okay, so after this, after he found that relativity, the theory of relativity, he found out, okay, it followed the world's most famous formula, which describes the relationship between mass and energy. Energy equal to mass, okay. E stands for energy, M stands for mass, and C for speed, okay, square. So in this mathematical equation, E stands for energy, M for mass, and C for the speed of the light in vacuum. Vacuum means where there is no air, okay. So like this is, okay, here you can see in a colored, the blue colored, this is said by Albert Einstein. He explains what is relativity, okay. So when we sit with a nice girl, okay, or when a person sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, then it seems like 2 minutes. Yes, are you understanding? So if you like, okay, if you are enjoying, or if you are spending your time with someone whom you like or whom you wanted to spend, okay, 2 hours seems to be just 2 minutes. But when you sit on a hot stove for 2 minutes, it seems like 2 hours. Is it clear? So that is called relativity. This is said by Albert Einstein. Okay, so time, okay, time and distance, they are not absolute, okay, not measured in itself, it depends on the other thing. Okay, so now uh, while Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling means starting to fail. It started to fail. There was a there was a difficulty in his private life, or it started to fail. This Albert, he wanted to marry Meliva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against their relationship. This Albert Einstein's mother thought that Meliva, she was 3 years older than her son, and so she was too old for Albert Einstein. And so the mother doesn't want Albert Einstein to marry this Meliva. Okay, so the mother was also portrayed by Meliva's intelligence, because she knew that Meliva was a very intelligent girl, okay, intelligent lady. So she is a book like you, his mother said. Einstein put the wedding off. So the mother strongly disagrees, okay, to this Albert Einstein for wedding, okay, that is Maliva and he, okay. So since the mother was very much against of their relationship, this Einstein, he put the wedding off. Then the bear means Einstein, okay, Einstein and Meliva. They finally married in January 1903 and had 2 sons. But a few years later, the marriage flattered. Okay, flattered means it became very weak. It was not strong like before. So after they had 2 sons, after the few years of their marriage, the marriage flattered, became very weak. Meliva, she was losing her intellectual ambition. She was a very intelligent lady and she wanted to go further in life. And so she became so unhappy, okay, being a housewife. Apart from housewife, okay, she wanted to do something bigger, and so she was very unhappy. So after years of constant fighting, they kept on fighting because she was not satisfied with her life. And later on, after the constant fighting, the couple finally divorced. Okay, divorced in 1919. Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. So Albert Einstein, on that year 1919, he finally, okay, divorced his wife, okay, that is Meliva, because Meliva was not satisfied with her life. She wanted to go further in life. And so on that year itself, Albert Einstein, he married his cousin Elsa the same year.